Hey guys, what's up? Emerald Viking Prime here with an awesome top 10 for you. And for those who are wondering, this is actually my top 10 favorite Pokemon of all time currently. A few years ago, I made a video similar to this, well, just like this, but this is my updated top 10 list. It's probably not going to even feature anything close to those Pokemon. And this list will not feature any legendary Pokemon, as I think legendary Pokemon are just too easy to add to a top 10 list. I'm going to have that as a separate list tomorrow. Anyway, let's get started. At number 10 is everyone's favorite Pokemon. Not everyone, but just one of the most popular Pokemon and the mascot of the company, Pikachu. Yes, I have to use paper cutouts to show you what the Pokemon looks like. That's how bad I am at editing. I'm sorry. I need to work on my editing skills, guys. I know. Anyway, Pikachu's number 10 on this list because I've always loved Pikachu. It's Ash's first Pokemon. It's one of my favorite characters in the anime. And in general, it's just, if you show a picture of Pikachu and a picture of Jesus, I'm pretty sure 80% of those people will say, oh, hey, it's Pikachu. Just like what happened with McDonald's. Like, they showed the picture of a cross and then the McDonald's symbol, and more people recognize the McDonald's symbol over the cross for churches and stuff. So, Anyway, I just love Pikachu. He's a good character in general. I like him. Anyway, number 9 is Heliolisk. Heliolisk is a electric normal type from Gen 6. He's on this list because I just love his typing. He's a very good Pokemon, very powerful, very fast, but is a bit of a glass cannon. In a way, he kind of reminds me of Shulk from Xenoblade Chronicles, which is one specific reason why he's on this list. Because he's very quick and can do some heavy damage, but he won't be able to take too many hits. That's why you have other Pokemon on your team, and that's why you also have Ryan on Xenoblade Chronicles. Anyway, number 8 is Espeon, my favorite EV evolution. I'm only going to feature one EV evolution on this list because I have a couple favorites, like Jolteon and Sylveon. So those are honorable mentions. But Espeon made it because Espeon is the one I've used probably the most. It's a psychic type Pokemon. It's one of my favorite types. And in general, I just love its design. It looks like an awesome cat. And, I would love to have... I've always named my Espeon after my cats. So, I gotta give it that. Love it to death. It's one of my favorite Pokemon, honestly. And it would be higher on this list if it wasn't for a few of the other Pokemon. But, Moving on, number 7. Number 7 is Sceptile, the grass-type starter from Gen 3. Sceptile makes it on this list because it is a powerful Pokemon. And it honestly reminds me of one of my friends in a way, but not really, so I don't know why I said that. But it's just a very powerful Pokemon. It could do a lot of damage. It's not as much as a glass cannon as Heliolisk, but it's about the same. It could take more hits, though, so it's more tankier, but... And also, it's fantastic Mega Evolution, which is a cool-ass tree lizard on steroids. Like, it's probably one of my favorite Mega Evolution designs in general, but it's only number 7 on this list for one specific reason, and that is, I don't really like its ability when it Mega Evolves. I mean, don't get me wrong, Lightning Rod's pretty good, but for a Pokemon that is nearly resistant to lightning moves, it's not that good. Then again, Rhyperior and Rhydon have it, and they're ground types, so it's if you know how to use it, you know how to use it. Anyway, moving on, number 6, probably one of my, at one point was my favorite Pokemon of all time, not anymore, Goodra. Goodra is a pure dragon type from Gen 6, and the reason why he's on this list is because I just love its design, I love its stats, it's a fantastic Pokemon to get, and yeah, and if any of you guys have a shiny Goodra that you're willing to trade, let me know. I don't really have a lot of good Pokemon. Sorry. I don't really have a lot of good Pokemon to trade for you guys, so, make an offer and I could maybe trade you my Goodra, or trade you something for a shiny Goodra with the gooey ability, or Goomy. Just let me know what you guys want and I'll see if I can get it. Anyway, number 5 would be Arcanine. Arcanine honestly just reminds me of my dog Coda. Similar looking tail, similar design, like how my dog has like a fluffier tail and a fluffier chest and head than the rest of his body. I mean, He's a pretty standard dog. He's a Shiba Inu, which has a curled up tail, which reminds me of Arcanine's tail, and he has like a lot of extra fluff on his head and neck, and he just kind of really reminds me of Arcanine, which is also why every time I catch an Arcanine, I name him Coda. um, but I also love dog Pokemon. Dog Pokemon are one of my favorite types of dog or Pokemon, so yeah. Um, Arcanine is also one of my favorite fire types, and I think now that I think about it, is the only fire type on this list, which is kind of weird because fire type Pokemon is one of my favorite types. Mistake. Easy mistake. So Arcanine's number 5, or number 4, number 5. No. Number 4 is Greninja, the Gen 6 starter. I used to like the Pokemon Chestnut very hugely. Wow, that sounded bad. I need to stop stuttering, guys. I'm sorry. But I used to like Chestnut a lot, which is the third evolution for Chespin. But over time, I just started liking the other Pokemon and the other starred Pokemon more. And he's not even on this list anymore. Actually, reason why is because he's an honorable mention, like the other EV evolutions. And in fact, if you look right above me, right there, you can see a Chespin Sliftemo hanging out with Mudkip and Puzzle Minun. So, number 4. And the reason why I also like Greninja is because he reminds me of one of my favorite characters from Naruto Shippuden. Oh, a couple, because they're all basically ninjas. But the specific character I'm talking about is Jiraiya, which is who I always name my Greninja after. Rest in peace, Jiraiya. Spoiler, sorry. If you know what I mean, don't spoil it for other people. You know what I mean. Anyway, number 3 is Lucario, which is the actual Pokemon that reminds me of one of my friends, because this is actually one of my friend's favorite Pokemon. And the reason why he's on this list is because he's just a fantastic Pokemon. I love its design. It's a mix between a dog and a fighter, Kung Fu fighter, I guess. And kind of reminds me of a combination of, like I said, a dog and Bruce Lee. That's kind of what it reminds me of. It's just a fantastic Pokemon, plus with its Mega Evolution, it's a force to be reckoned with. That's all I'm going to have to say there. It's a force to be reckoned with. Love the Pokemon, though. Lucario is a fantastic Pokemon I highly recommend using in any playthrough you could get it in, especially Black 2 and White 2 and X and Y, because you could actually get him so easily in those games. I think I've gotten a Lucario or Riolu before the first gym in Black 2 and White 2. So, it's a pretty good Pokemon to have. I love it. It's fantastic. Very good Pokemon to have for the first gym in that game. Moving on. Number 2 is everyone's favorite Dragon-type Pokemon, Garchomp. Garchomp is the Dragon-type Pokemon, especially since he has a massively powerful Mega Evolution, Mega Garchomp. He just reminds me of the Grim Reaper, hence the nickname I always give him, Grimm, Grimm, like Brothers Grimm, which is a movie I also kind of like, and people that wrote a lot of the fairy tales and stuff. Anyway, he's just a fantastic Pokemon, very powerful. I love his design. It's like a combination of a shark and a freaking jet. It's like a combination you wouldn't think. When he was first revealed, I was like, oh god, what the hell is that thing? And I was like, okay, how easy is that thing going to be to get? Because I want one on my team. Honestly, not that difficult. In the Diamond and Pearl, I don't think you could get him really that easily, but in Platinum, you could get him after the second gym, which is awesome. Specifically Gible, but Gible becomes Gibite, then Garchomp, so you can get him pretty early in the game, which is fantastic, and I always usually get him, unless if we use Torterra, but sometimes I even use him when I get Torterra. He's just a good Pokemon to have, and I love him a lot. He's pretty awesome, and let's move on. My number 1 favorite Pokemon is Magikarp. Just kidding. Magikarp sucks ass. Don't even bother. Honorable mentions. Alright, so I only have one paper cutout for honorable mentions because I thought I added a lot more Pokemon in my head. But the honorable mentions are pretty much almost all the Eevee evolutions other than 1 or 2 of them. Specifically Glaceon, Leafeon, and Flareon, because those 3 suck in my opinion. Flygon, and just a few other Pokemon, and Aggron. Aggron is one of my favorite Pokemon. He's powerful, he can take a lot of hits, he can do a lot of damage. In general, he's one of my favorite Pokemon for that reason. But my personal favorite Pokemon, and if you looked over my head, you could probably already tell what Pokemon that is. Swampert. Swampert is my #1 favorite Pokemon because he's actually my first Pokemon ever. When I first started playing Pokemon, I got a copy of Pokemon Sapphire, and Mudkip was the first starter I've ever chosen. So in a way, Swampert's the first fully evolved Pokemon I've ever had. So he has a special place in my heart for that reason. I can never choose another Pokemon to replace him. That's how much I love Swampert. Now, a lot of people say starters are easy to choose for a top 10 list. I only have 2 on my list. And a lot of people usually add Charizard. I don't have Charizard on my list because, for one thing, I think he's overrated and he's not really one of my favorite Pokemon at all. But I don't really mind. If you like Charizard, that's cool too. Anyway, I just have a special place in my heart for Swampert. I can't choose any other Pokemon to replace him in my mind. He's just the greatest Pokemon there ever lived. Great typing, great stats, could take a lot of hits, could do a lot of damage, just a little slow, but and plus that Townsville weakness could be pretty much destroyed by any grass type Pokemon, which is one downside to being water ground type. But then again, you don't have any weaknesses other than grass, and you can learn a lot of good moves. Let's just say Mega Sceptile could destroy Mega Swampert in like one hit. That's how bad Swampert is. Which is why I was hoping that he would get a different type in his Mega form, but he's still a standard ground water type. Anyway, that's my top 10 list. Let me know what your top 10 favorite Pokemon are. And if you don't have a top 10 favorite Pokemon, just top 5, top 3, your personal favorite. What is your favorite Pokemon ever? Just give me any type of list you want. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.